Hey everyone, welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading. Today is Sunday, March 14th, 2021. Today I'll be looking at SPX and where I see it going to the upside and to the downside heading into next week. I'm also going to be looking at our watch list names like Apple, NVDA, Tesla, ROKU, PTON, Zoom, and a bunch of others. But before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you are interested in our trading group, head over to thewealthymentor.net and check out our Discord trading group. We offer great services with daily watch lists, swing trading names, call outs on options trading, and a bunch of other things that will be highly beneficial for you if you are a trader. Okay, now to get started, I have a chart of ES right now. This is SPX futures. As you guys can see, we are a little ahead heading in right now. We're up 0.1%. We did close Friday's session just around 39.30, which is still bullish. I am going to head over here to the SPX chart to give you guys an understanding of where I see the market going. Right here is a 5-minute chart. I am going to switch over to the 4-hour chart to let you guys know some of the targets ahead. Okay, so we did have all-time highs last week at 39.60. So right now that is a point of resistance. So I am going to draw a level of resistance right here at 39.60, right? We did have prior resistance, which is now support at 39.50. However, we did close Friday's action below that. So heading into tomorrow, this would be my first confirmation for a healthy market. Above that would be my second confirmation at 39.60, which also could be an entry for you if you are an SPX trader. Now to the downside, we do have support at that 39.20 to 39.30 level. Below that, we do have psychological support at 3900. As you guys can see here, this is the 9-day EMA. We are above it, and we've been above it since 38.23, around 38.23, yep. So as you guys can see here, we did drop as low as 37.30, and we've been trading above this EMA ever since 38.30. So we continue to be above this line. So to me, we are still bullish. We are in an uptrend, and us closing Thursday and Friday session bullish leads me to believe that we are going to be looking at higher price. So if we do break 39.60, I have targets at 39.80 and 4,000 psychological. To the downside, if we do break 3,900, I am looking at 38.30 as strong support. And if we cannot hold 38.80, the lowest I can see it going is 38.50 for a healthy pullback. Okay, so that is SPX on the 4-hour chart heading into next week. The first name I'm going to be looking at is Apple, AAPL. As you guys have known, that Apple has been pretty stagnant in its price action, not doing much. We did receive a few upgrades last week, and the price just didn't move. So we are in a tightening range here from that 123 down to that 119 level. I am looking for a breakout this week, and my first confirmation would be that 123 level, and my second confirmation would be that 124.50 level. So I would set my entries above that 124.50 level. However, if you are a more conservative trader, I would definitely look into that 128, 129 level to be broken for a healthier entry. To the downside, we do have support at that 119 level and that 116 level. I would not enter shorts on Apple just because it's closely related to SPX, and usually Apple is an indicator of market weakness. So as long as SPX is heading in an uptrend, I would not be looking to to short Apple at any time during this uptrend in the markets. However, like I said, my targets to the upside, just definitely look over that 124.50 for a scalp trade to that 127.50 mark. You can make a nice trade here on longs, potentially take profit completely at that 129 level, just in case we get a rejection. Head over to the 129, rejection, retest the 124, and potentially go up to that 133, 135 level. Okay, so that is Apple on the 4-hour chart. Not much happening, and we are currently in a downtrend. So keep that in mind. The trend is your friend. As you can see here, we had a top of 145. The second one was 135. Again, the next staircase pattern is that 129 level, which I just mentioned. And now we are at the bottom of that hill at 120.56. And this could potentially go below 116. I could be very bearish. However, to break this type of trend, that 129 level is key for me. So keep that in mind, guys. We are bullish on SPX, so I would not be shorting Apple. In fact, I would be looking in scaling in positions for longer term trades. Okay, so that is Apple on the 4-hour time frame. The next name I'm going to be looking at is NVDA, NVIDIA. NVIDIA has had I guess you could say, a hard time getting past that 520 level, that 515 to 520 level. As you guys can see here, we did hit it. We did just go slightly above it to the 523 level, and we opened up the next day's session at that 500 support. So going into next week, I am looking at that 520 to be broken. I'm going to zoom in here. So 520 would be my first confirmation, and my entry would be above the 523 to 525 level. Where I could see it going after that, potentially 530 and 535, hitting resistance right here, which was previous support back on February the 25th. So if you are entering above that 523, 525 level, definitely look for scalp trades to the 530 to 535. If we do see continued strength and volume, and perhaps a catalyst such as an analyst upgrade, definitely look for that 544 to 548 level. As you guys know in my previous streams, that is a big area of resistance, and potentially we could run into that same resistance once again. So keep your eyes on those targets to the upside. Now to the downside, we do have strong support at that 500 level. If 500 does break, I'm definitely looking at continued weakness down to 483. I would definitely look at 495 as my second confirmation if you are entering shorts. So if we do break 500 support and swiftly break 495, definitely look for a short position down to the 483, where we did have short-term support here. If continued volume to the downside persists, I'll definitely look at that 468, 464 level to take profit and close my short position. Okay, so that is NVIDIA to the upside and to the downside heading into next week. Another name which is very popular amongst traders, and I myself love to trade it, it's Tesla, TSLA. Tesla makes for some great volatility, and it has moves to the upside and downside, so you're definitely profitable if you catch these swings. So as you guys can see here, we do have clear resistance at that 700 to the 710 level. As you guys can see on this 4-hour candle, we did spike up almost to 720. However, bears stepped in and pushed it right back down under the 700 level. So if you guessed it, I am looking over the 700 level heading into next week. A break of 700 would be my first confirmation. A safer entry would be over the 710 level for potential take profits at 720. If 720 were to break, I am looking at retests of 730 and 740, and potentially 750 if we are bullish heading into next week. Now to the downside, we do have strong support at that 665 level. As you guys can see here, we wicked down here, buyer stepped in, once more here, buyer stepped in, once more here, buyer stepped in around March the 10th. We are still hovering above that 9 EMA, so definitely look to see if we do break this 9 EMA, it could potentially give you a signal to short down to the 665 level. Definitely look for that 682 support to hold. If it doesn't, a potential short take profit area is 664. If 664 cannot hold, definitely look to take profits and close your position at that 650 level where we have had support previously. Okay, that is Tesla on the 4-hour time frame, and I am currently bullish on Tesla. Just going to switch over here to the 1-day time frame to give you guys an idea of where we stand in terms of a longer term time frame. As you guys can see here, very bullish 900 target. We did push down as low as the 560s, and here we are consolidating around that $700 area, which was previous resistance here back on December the 17th. Okay, so keep Tesla in mind for a continued up move over the 700, 710 level. Okay, that is Tesla on the 4-hour and the daily time frames. Another name that I'm going to look at is ROKU. ROKU is the ticker name. Here we are on ROKU. As you guys can see, similar charts to Tesla, because we did have market weakness not last week, but the week before, as QQQ and the tech sector really pushed lower, causing names like ROKU and the rest to push also lower. Okay, as you guys can see here, we do have resistance at that 370, 374 level. So that is a level of interest for me heading into next week. So definitely look at that 370 as your first confirmation to break. And if 370 were to break, your second confirmation would be that 374 area for an entry and a take profit target at 380 and 384, which we did have resistance and support back on February 25th. So definitely look for take profits around that area. If volume persists, right, hold on. If market conditions persist and they're great and we're in an uptrend, if the tech sector is pushing higher, right, if Netflix, which sometimes correlates to Roku, them being similar to each other, if that's strong, look for Roku to also push. So as a trader, you're always looking for these little small clues to put together to see if you should exit or enter your position, right? So if all these things are positive and the market's moving up and there's a catalyst, let's just say JP Morgan upgrades Roku to a price target, that day it could be bullish for Roku depending on a bunch of other things like market conditions. So definitely don't necessarily just cut at 384 and take your profits. Just wait a few minutes to see where the market's heading. And if 384 were to break, definitely look for that 395, 400 mark to be retested again to the upside. Now, let's just say we have market weakness, okay? If you guess 350 as major support, you're right? So we did have support at 350, pushing as low as the 345 area, and bulls stepped in. So if 350 were to break, that would be my first confirmation to the downside. If 345 were to break, that would be my second confirmation for potential scalp trades, shorts, down to the 340, 332, and even potentially 320 retest, which we did have a strong bounce here back on March the 5th, 2021. Okay, so that is Roku to the upside and to the downside. Another name which has had some significant swings to the upside and to the downside is Peloton, which is PTON, the ticker. And here we are, Peloton. Again, similar charts to Roku. Market weakness. We had a good week last week. So again, I'm going to be looking at retests of these levels. Levels like 126, levels like 129, 128 area, right? But before all that, my entry period would be that 117.50 mark to 120 for a safer entry. Now, that's not to say you can't enter above 114 for a scalp trade to 117.5. However, if you are a safer trader and if you're following the trend, you guys can see that we're having a staircase pattern down here. 1, 2 right here, 3 right here, 4 right here, 5 right here. And if you are a trend trader, definitely look for continued weakness for potential push right back down to that $100 area. However, if the market conditions are great, definitely look over that 117.50 area to 120 area for an entry point. Okay, so that is Peloton. Much like Roku, and Tesla, look for a trend change above these key levels. Okay, so that is Peloton on the 4-hour time frame. Another name that I'm going to be looking at heading into next week is Square, SQ. Square is closely related to Bitcoin, and as you guys know, Bitcoin right now has broken to all-time highs above the $60,000 mark. Anytime Bitcoin is bullish, definitely look at Square as one of those related names to also receive bullish treatment as well. Not to mention, not just Square, also look at names like Mara and Riot, which we do offer part of our Wealthy Mentor trading watch lists. So if you are interested in that, head over to the website, thewealthymentor.net, and check out what we offer on swing trading names as well, which could be beneficial for you because, to be honest with you guys, right now, names like Square, Amara, GBTC, Riot, those Bitcoin names are offering some great percentages. Just to give you guys an example, Riot and Mara have gone up over 1,000% compared to what Bitcoin has done over 100%. So there's a lot of potential in these names and they're very volatile. So just be cautious with your entries and exits. That being said, here is SQ Square on the 4-hour time frame. And Square had a pretty good week. You know, we did have a bounce here at that $200 level, and we see ourselves as pretty bullish heading into next week. So 245 would be my first confirmation for an entry. However, you can also enter over the 245 area. So, but if you are a safer trader, I'm going to tell you right now, this is the level that you want to get in at, the 260 level. However, if you are a scalp trader, options trader, day trader, definitely look over that 245 level as first confirmation. Your entry point would be that 250 level. Your first take profit would be that 255 level. And your final take profit would be that 260 level. Now, I did say that 260 level would be a good entry. However, if you are entering down here, there's nothing wrong with taking profits here at 260 because usually when a big target like 260 gets hit, there's strong resistance to it, right? So usually what happens is you come up to 260, you pause here, you receive a retracement at that 250 level because it corresponds to this price action here back on March the 3rd, and this would be a good entry upon that pullback of the 260 being hit. So keep that in mind if you are entering down here and you're wondering where to take profits. 260 would be an area of good take profit area because potentially we could receive a small pullback for a better entry at that 250 area. However, that all gets negated because you got to look at market conditions. You got to look at Bitcoin to see if it's pumping hard. You got to see if there's an analyst upgrade. There's so many different factors to consider before entering or exiting a trade. But that would be my mindset heading into next week on Square. Now, to the downside, we do have support at that 230 area, 227 area. If that were to break, definitely look for scalp positions on the break of 227 to 222 to 220. Okay, that would be my area of take profit. I mean, it doesn't have to end right there. It could definitely push as low as 200 once again to retest these levels. However, a break above 260 would pretty much kill that scenario. So those are my thoughts on Square heading into next week. Okay. Another name that I'm going to be looking at is NIO, NIO. NIO has been bullish. It did receive a few upgrades and it has followed Tesla along with the other EV names. Nice bounce right here at that $36 level. It did receive a downgrade. However, as someone that is a personal investor in NIO, this was a great buying opportunity. As you guys can see here, bulls stepped in at that $32 level, pushed back up to that $36 level, held there, and pushed all the way up. Right now, sitting just below resistance at that 45 level. My entries on NIO definitely would be over the 47 level for potential scalps to the $49 and $51 level. Now, if you are a more conservative trader and definitely looking for a trend change, as you guys can see here, another staircase pattern from 62, right, down to 53, down to 51, and down to 46. So if you want to negate all of that and you want to enter at a safer target, definitely look over that $54 to $56 area for a safer entry, which has been strong support right here back on January the 19th, right here on February the 1st, right here on the 8th, and has now turned into resistance. Previous support is now resistance because now we are trying to retest those areas again. So definitely look for safer entries above that $56 level. And if you do enter at that $56 level, definitely look for targets of 58 to 62 being hit because we do have resistance up there as well. Okay, to the downside, if we do not move up and we continue the staircase pattern, right? I'm definitely looking at retest at that $36 and $32 level. Definitely look for $40.50 to break for scalp short positions to that 38, 36, and $32 levels. Okay, so that is NIO on the 4-hour time frame. One last name I'm going to be looking at, guys, which has kind of crept up slowly. It's not necessarily the best day trading stock. However, if you are trading shares and you are a swing trader, it's definitely something you should be looking at, and that is Boeing BA. Boeing has slowly crept up as high as 270, and this is the highest level it's been at since the whole pandemic drop down to the $90 level. So we are here at support just above the 268.50 level. Next week, I am looking at a potential push to the 275, 280 level, and there is a big gap from the 280 to 293 level, which was one of the breakdown areas. I am going to switch here to the weekly chart to give you guys an idea. As you guys can see, we have major support, right? And which is now resistance because we are from the downside going up at that $300 level. So Boeing has slowly crept up, making a staircase pattern above, right? We did have 167 as our first staircase pattern, 228, 246, and here we are at that 270 level. So let me just zoom in here on the weekly chart to give you guys an idea. Okay, so if we do have a good week, definitely look at that 275 level as potential entry, right? Your first take profit would be the 280 level if volume persists and we have a good day with the Dow Jones pushing higher. Definitely look for take profits at the 293 level. And if we're really bullish, definitely look for that test of the 300 level, which was strong support, as I mentioned just earlier here, right? Right here, back on March the 3rd, 2018, January 20th, 2021. And obviously, you guys know the story with the whole COVID virus pushing everything down. So these are the areas of retests. So I'll definitely look at those to the upside. Now to the downside, I'm going to switch over here to the 4-hour chart to give you guys targets to the downside. If we cannot hold 268.5, definitely look as that as your first confirmation. I would not enter shorts right here because we are bullish, right? I would look for 268 to hold. If that doesn't hold, that would be my first confirmation. If 260 can't hold, that would be my entry point to the downside for potential take profit at that 250 level because we do have some sort of consolidation here before that bull flag went up. Okay, so 260 breaks, short position down to 250. If 250 can't even hold, definitely look for final take profits at that 244, 242 level. Okay, which was potentially the breakout point for us, leading us to that 270 level. Okay, so that is my opinion. and my technical analysis on the 4-hour and the weekly time frame on Boeing. So keep your eyes on that one. All right, guys, those are the names I really want to speak about. Keep your eyes on the market. We are near all-time highs. Bitcoin is near all-time highs. Those two are closely correlated. So as a good trader, you're always looking for these correlations to nail down your entries and exits. Hope everyone has a great week, and good luck, everyone. And if you're interested in Wealthy Mentor trading, like I said, head over to the wealthymentor.net, check out our services. We also offer, a mini refresher course on technical analysis. It's not a big course, it's more like a PDF, a book that I've wrote, and it's definitely something that could help you in your trading journey, especially if you're just starting or if you want to brush up on your technical analysis skills. Okay, guys, thank you so much and good luck. Bye.